God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Stugotz.
Thank you, Mikey A. Not so wild, the wild card weekend, huh?
Yeah. Boring card weekend.
Got a little wild at the end. Just, a little bit.
It was a good last game.
It was. Are you proud of that line right there? Boring card.
I'm not.
I could tell.
I was.
You were ashamed? No,
I'm
he was ashamed, Mikey A.
I mean, it's that time of year, right?
Yeah.
I just feel shame at this point.
I know. You feel gross, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
A couple more weeks of football left. That's real. You know what it is? I think that's the reality that's setting in, is that I'm starting to get sad because I know we only have less than a month left of this.
Right, and no one loves football more than you.
No one.
Right.
No one.
Right.
I mean, college is wrapping up. We're 7 days away from the end of college.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
So that's already kind of like, it's a slow march to depression.
Yeah.
I know that college is about to end. The NFL's a couple more weeks. And then what do we do?
I'll get to the NFL
Basketball?
in a second. Who is the country rooting for less, Ohio State or Notre Dame?
Oh, it's a bad matchup. I mean, it's not a bad matchup in terms of like the teams. It's a bad matchup in terms of likability.
Who is the country rooting for less? Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. We're going to be happy either way, right?
Yeah.
And disappointed either way.
I don't want to even see the team celebrating confetti. I just want visuals of all the people depressed after they lose.
Right.
Whoever loses, I just want to watch them be depressed. That's my celebration.
It took what, 4 games before we actually got a good game, and that game was last night. Baker Mayfield out of the playoff. Jaden Daniels advancing on to take on the Detroit Lions. I mean, exciting. Did he win the rookie quarterback competition? Because I'm not certain.
Bo Nix didn't help himself yesterday.
I know, but Michael Penix did, and not playing in the playoffs makes me think, what's there with Michael Penix?
Michael Penix needed to beat the Carolina Panthers to have a shot, and he lost. So I'm going to go ahead and say Jaden.
I know, but he threw 5 or 6 of the greatest incompletions I've ever seen.
Michael Penix played like
fair.
2 or 3 games. Like, what are you doing?
You look good, though, Billy. All right, Jaden Daniels won.
Bo Nix had a moment. He had a playoff moment.
He did.
The first drive of the game, Bo Nix,
Yep.
I said, you know what? Bo Nix may do this.
Yeah.
And then every other drive came after that first drive of the game. They had a good half. Like, they kept it close at the half. They missed a field goal.
Well, they
to
had
tie
that
the game. Yeah.
They had that first drive that you're referring to.
That first drive looked
and they
good.
had nothing else after that.
Yeah.
I mean, if the game ended right there.
They had a fake punt that was successful. Fun little fake punt.
If the game ended now.
Yeah.
If the game ended now. The Eagles kind of ho-hum. The Bills. Yeah, right.
By the way, you mentioned Jaden Daniels, and did he win?
Yeah.
I was worried at how easily he was thrown out of bounds, like 15 yards. He just
tossed,
got hit and then just went flying. I was concerned about how easily he went flying there.
He was responsible for 87% of their offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good, but is it crazy to wonder if he's going to be durable enough?
No, it's not crazy to wonder.
I would look. I'm not a dietitian. I don't know these things. He needs to put on weight before next season.
Really?
This season's not over yet. He needs to bulk up a little bit, I think.
Okay.
And that's coming from someone who has never had any bulk in his life. He needs to bulk up.
Well, speaking as someone who's completely all bulk, if you're Cliff Kingsbury,
Right.
you better take a job this offseason because you are one injury for that guy away from being at the bottom of the list of everybody's head coaching candidate. I would get out now while it's hot.
Wow. How about the Bears expressing some interest in Marcus Freeman? Huh?
How about Marcus Freeman taking the interview?
That's crazy.
That's leverage.
But that's crazy.
No, because he just signed. It's 4 months ago that he just signed. I can't imagine that they're going to be like, okay, here's more.
No, but Mikey, he's in the national championship game. Like, if the threat of leaving Notre Dame, you think he cares? Like, if he has a deal, if he has an offer from the Bears, his agent takes that right back to Notre Dame and says, hey, I know we signed this 4 months ago, but it's time to fire up a new one. I mean,
I got to be honest with you.
And is there a better face of a franchise than Marcus Freeman? Huh?
I got to be honest with you.
No.
If I was a team and I was interviewing a coach who was still playing games in the playoffs, or in Marcus Freeman's case, about to play for the national championship, and I call and they're like, yeah, I'll take your call. I'd cross him off my list immediately. Say, you know what? I need someone who's focused on getting the job done. And you, my friend, are clearly distracted. By the way, is there any indicator that someone's not going to get a job more than they interviewed on Zoom? Like, what are these Zoom interviews that we keep hearing about this year? Like, interviewed remotely, interviewed, video interview. Like, you're not getting the job. I hate to break it to you.
Are these guys who are coaching in the postseason? Is that why they're doing it via Zoom?
I think that
Like, did Spags do one via Zoom? I don't know.
Ben Johnson's done some, but like it was for the Patriots, and that we can all agree. Circle of trust. We're friends here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Vrabel had that job like a month and a half ago with the Patriots. And
I would say Vrabel had that job the second he was fired by Tennessee.
I was gonna.
Seriously,
it goes back that far. They were like, you know what, Mike, take a year off, go do some stuff. We're gonna let Jerod Mayo get us a quarterback. We're gonna see if he's any good, and he'll be the guy after the guy. He'll be the guy after Belichick, and then you come in and save the day. So go ahead and take a year. We'll get this thing figured out.
Mayo had it in his contract that he was going to be the next head coach. So like they had to make him.
They had to go to Mayo for at least a year. But I do think there is something to, hey, Mike, don't be the guy that replaces the guy. And I think Vrabel probably felt like, I don't want to be the guy that replaces Bill Belichick. I'll be the guy that replaces Gerard Mayo.
The only thing about that I don't 100% get is why spend a year in Cleveland? Like, why go to
Ohio?
Cleveland?
Isn't that where he
from
lived?
that area.
Like, isn't that his
Cleveland.
thing?
Yeah, you just lay low for a year, though. When you know you're getting someone else's job, you just, you kind of lay low. Don't create waves. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, no, but
lay low
sure.
in Cleveland. No
I
one's
get
paying
it.
attention. Everyone knows the Patriots want you, and
Can we have a very in poor taste conversation?
Sure.
Very poor taste.
Always.
Circle of trust.
Always.
Taste,
Mikey A, Stugotz. Stugotz will answer. Mikey, don't answer this. Stugotz, you answer this.
Okay.
Who's someone out there whose job you'd love to take that you just lay low for a year after they're gone? So like you're looking at the landscape and like that's what I want my landing spot to be. And I will lay low for a year for that gig.
Such a good question.
Just, Mikey, don't answer this again.
It's such a good question.
Someone out there.
Greeny, get up.
You'd want Greeny's job?
There's no way
it
you
pays
want that
well.
job.
Why?
Yeah,
That's
you
a
would
fun
not.
show. I like that show.
Let me tell you something. And
Of
don't
course
take
you
this,
like it. You're not getting up that early.
Don't take this
All
the
right,
wrong
you're
way.
right. You guys are right. You guys are right.
You're not getting Greeny's salary.
No. Oh, I know.
So let's.
That I know. That I'm aware of. Man, I'm trying to think college game day. I'm trying to think what I want, like Mad
Whose job would
Dogs.
you want from game day, though?
Stanford Steve's.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking you'd want Stanford Steve's. But then I could see the argument where you'd say you wanted Bear's job. You'd lay low for a year, but Stanford Steve's locked us down for 2 years now.
Yeah, so what happened is I didn't want to be the guy that replaced the Bear. I want to be the guy that replaces Stanford Steve.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I'm angling for. I'm not angling for it. I'm joking. I love that guy. But
we're doing the other game though. The Bear would have been your answer because
the Bear, you lay low for a year, let Stanford Steve kind of have a bad season, which he did a year ago.
Whoa.
Well, he did.
He had a great year this year. He had a great year this year.
He had a great year this year.
Not as good as you.
I had a better year.
And he's the referee and the field goal kicking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm jealous. I mean,
yeah.
He's on College game day, SVP Sports Center at night. He's got a great gig.
Let me ask you this question.
Doesn't come with a ton of pressure. I don't like pressure. I choke in the postseason. Yeah, that's I'm good.
Let me ask you this question, and this is going to put you in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
And maybe I shouldn't ask this question.
Why are you doing
because
this
the parties involved, but let's say hypothetically.
Yes.
Hypothetically.
Right.
Gojo and Golic. Big falling out.
Right.
One of them's going to leave.
Father-son,
but big falling out professionally. They say, you know what? Maybe this relationship works just as a father-son relationship. And they're going to break up. They both reach out to you and they say, hey, just lay low for a year. We're going to rebuild this, you and I.
I love this question.
Which
so
one?
much.
They both have reached out to you
Why are you doing
at the same time.
You know how much
I love this question.
I know, but
but
which
Mikey,
one?
he knows. Make Mikey answer.
No, Mikey's not answering.
No.
Don't answer this, Mikey.
No.
Which one? Which
don't
one
have
are
to.
you saying? You know what? I will wait out a year for X. Or here's the dirtiest way of doing it.
Jesus Christ.
And by the way, happy playoffs. Here's the dirtiest way of doing
It wasn't so wild.
We're in Billy's wheelhouse. Do you see how into the microphone he is right now?
He is
so excited.
They
He's
both-
interrogating
awesome.
me.
They both say, you know what? I want to work with you. And then one says, we'll give it a year. And the other one says, let's start right now. So you accept to start right now with one to do just for a year to get to the other one.
Oh, so one Golic's a bridge to another Golic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
See, that makes it easier to me.
I think so too.
Well,
That
why?
I
makes
think
it
there's
so
an
much
obvious
easier.
answer there.
Well, because you're making
Yeah.
both guys happy. I mean,
Yeah, you're not making either guy. You're not insulting either guy. But at the same time, I mean, there's an obvious one that you do short term and one that you do long term.
well,
Well, now you gave away the
There's
game.
an obvious
Mikey.
answer.
is this an age thing? I mean, what are we doing here?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, this is your question.
I understand what you're saying. Golic for a year to get to Gojo.
Yeah, but the thing with Gojo is there's always an Emerson going around that could take your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I love Gojo so much that I don't want to saddle Gojo. Gojo's a young man. He is just starting out in this industry.
Yeah.
I am finishing up in this industry.
Are you?
Well, I'm not finishing up, but I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning. Let's put it that way. Okay? And so I don't want to do that to Gojo.
Do what
Because,
to Gojo?
like, I don't want to saddle Gojo. Gojo should be doing this. If he's not doing it with his dad, Gojo should find a young co-host or two to do the show with moving forward because he's going to be doing this for the next 25 years. So what I would do in a sprint, like a 2-year sprint, is saddle up with Mike Golic Sr. And I would revive his Hall of Fame career. And he would revive my Hall of Fame career.
You don't have a Hall of Fame
I
career.
think I have
You
a
don't
Hall
have-
of Fame career.
You're
I
not
think I'm
in
strolling
any
in 5 years
Halls
is a
of
day I
Fame.
stopped talking into a mic.
Which Hall of Fame do you think you're strolling into?
The Radio Hall of Fame. I mean,
Really?
I'm not making it to the Radio Hall of Fame?
No, is this breaking news to you?
All right, so listen, but perhaps standing next to Golic for 2 years,
Perhaps.
and if I can help, resurrect and bring him back and have him, where he was with Mike Greenberg at the height of Mike and
Wow,
Mike.
you're going to bring him up to where he was. He needs you. All right, who would you rather open a restaurant with?
Nice.
Now we're
Super
way off
wild
track.
card
Yeah,
weekend.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's what happens when there's 5 games. You know?
And one tonight, by the
Yeah.
way. Billy's Big Board Bets coming up in
that
the
is
final
true.
segment of the show. Plus, we have winners and losers.
Winners
and
and
if the season
losers.
ended today, I mean, let me think. Restaurant. With Gojo or Golic, those are my only choices. Why a restaurant?
That's the game.
Golic.
Wow.
Yeah. Golic.
Okay.
Senior.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More time. Gojo's not going to take a restaurant seriously, is he?
I don't know. I don't know why we asked this question.
It's
who,
odd.
who asked this?
Why are you putting me in bad spots?
I'm not.
All right.
Can I
Anyway,
ask you who would you rather open a car detailing shop with next?
who would you rather open a car detailing shop with? In all of sports.
Obvious answer. Move on. Obvious answer.
No, it's Golic, right?
Move on. Obvious answer.
Bills looked good.
Winners and losers next.
Stugotz.
Yes.
God Bless Football is presented by Smirnoff. We do game days. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please drink responsibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Thanks.
I'm excited about this time of year. First week didn't really satisfy me all that much.
wild card weekend is typically great. This was a bad wild card weekend. We still have one game tonight. Last night's game was good. The Bucks and the Commanders bailed us out, but for the most part, you're right.
I think the only surprise we had was that the Texans beat the Chargers, but it wasn't a good surprise because that game was like
it was a home
was out of
playoff
hand.
game. Right.
it was like
Yeah.
who wanted to lose that game more? Neither
Yes.
side looked particularly good.
Right.
Like I don't think the Texans look, and I may regret saying this. They do not stand
Circle
a
of
chance.
trust.
They do not stand a chance against the Chiefs next weekend.
Really?
Chiefs have not looked good, but
I would say the Texans are getting hot at the right time.
you thought the Texans were hot yesterday,
They won a
2
game.
days ago.
They won a playoff game that not many people had them winning. And by the way, Jim Harbaugh, how about that? And Justin Herbert
Thank
with
you.
4 interceptions. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Justin
Through
Herbert.
3 all year, through
I know.
4 in the game.
Yeah.
Although probably 2 of them were his fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? They're all his fault.
Great defense.
I hate that.
Only 2 of the 4 were his
right.
fault.
Yeah,
You guys want to play a quick game?
Sure.
I like to call
Always.
winners and losers.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's the thing about winners and losers. It's presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. Please drink responsibly. My first loser, Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Yeah. Rough one for Justin Herbert. We were convinced Justin Herbert had turned the corner.
Yep.
What a great season he had. Low-key great season. Only a couple interceptions all year. Very quiet because everyone was talking about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. So Justin Herbert made sure everyone was going to be talking about him after this first round of the playoffs.
I have a loser.
Okay.
Justin Herbert's coach, Jim Harbaugh. Great in the playoffs. Team is always ready. Team is poised. He's a tough coach. They're going to run the football. They're going to stop the run. They didn't do anything. They didn't do any of that. And he loses on a weekend where his brother, the better coach, the better Harbaugh, wins another playoff game.
Jim or John.
Now, he goes up to Buffalo next week. So Jim Harbaugh, my loser. How about that?
Wow.
I've got a loser for you.
Okay, go, Mike.
Wow.
Rex Ryan.
Wow.
Bad weekend for Rex Ryan.
Why is that?
I'm not even talking about the fact that he is supposedly out of the running for the Jets job, although that might make him a winner. Rex Ryan said that the Chargers were going to have a bye week playing the Houston Texans, and the Houston Texans heard it. And after the game, they were smoking their victory cigars, and they were making sure that they knew what Rex Ryan said. Not a good look, Rex.
Nope.
Not a good look.
I mean, victory cigars after wild card weekend round is also not a good look.
Yes, I agree.
And having Rex Ryan bulletin board material.
But I think what they were celebrating was their victory over Rex Ryan. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes. How about Rex Ryan guaranteeing he was going to get the Jets job, and he's not getting the Jets job? I love that.
No, he's not.
He ain't getting it.
Poor guy. I have a loser.
Yeah, another loser.
Yeah.
Were there any winners?
There were winners.
I have a winner.
Okay, I have a loser, though.
Okay.
I have another loser.
Cameron Dicker.
The kicker.
Kicker
Yeah.
for the Chargers.
Yep.
Did something I have never seen before.
What's that?
Where he was going to kick an extra point. It was blocked. And he decided, you know what? I'm going to make a business decision here. I don't want to get totally destroyed, so I'm just going to bat the ball down. Except that's not how it works when you're kicking an extra point and it gets blocked and it doesn't cross the line of scrimmage. That's a live ball, friend.
Yep.
And guess what? You still got absolutely rocked. And instead of just getting tackled holding the ball and just calling it a day,
Right.
you got absolutely demolished. And then the Texans picked up that ball and ran it the other way for 2 points. Didn't end up mattering, but,
Yeah.
loser Cameron Dicker.
Yeah.
Go into the fetal position or try. Don't go somewhere in between.
I just
go one way or go the other.
catch it
and go down.
get rocked. Or just go
Yeah.
down and have them touch you. Batting it down was the worst thing he could have done there. Big winner, by the way. Texans special teams coach was going crazy on the sidelines. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what
was.
his name is. I mean, he'd be a bigger winner if we all knew his name.
Should we
But
try to get him on?
oh boy, no, please don't.
I feel like
he
it's a
was
year
excited.
of special teams coaches going crazy.
Right.
I feel like we've seen
the
that a few
Steelers
times
special
this year.
teams coach one
Yeah.
day. Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of losers, Mike Tomlin. Go ahead, Fuentes.
Oh boy.
I got a loser.
He hasn't won a game in a decade of playoff. He's over the last decade in playoff games. Go ahead.
Outscored in the first half of games 76-0 in
Yep.
the playoffs.
His team looked like they didn't want to be there. Go ahead, Mike.
Gross.
My loser is everybody that bet Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown because he had a house call at the end of the game and he went down to end the game.
That one was rough.
Yep.
That one was
Yeah.
rough. Bad.
Yeah, that one hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I have a winner.
Feelings.
They didn't play yesterday, but I guarantee you the Chiefs wanted exactly what they're getting. The Texans. They did not want the Chargers. They didn't want Harbaugh. They didn't want Herbert coming off a win. They got the Houston Texans, and Billy has already said the Chiefs are on to the AFC Championship game, and I agree with it.
They didn't want the Broncos either.
Right. Big winner, the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I have someone who didn't win or lose, even though they coached and lost the game yesterday. Todd Bowles. No one cares. He's 1-3 in the boat. He's never on the hot seat.
Yeah.
No one cares. They're never talking about who's going to be the next coach to replace Bowles in Tampa.
Can I have
Good job.
a positive? A
Great
winner?
job.
Can I have a winner?
Yeah, I gave you a winner, the Chiefs.
Lad McConkey.
He's good.
Oh, 197 receiving yards. When does rolled his eye? Do you not think Lad
No,
McConkey's
I
good?
rolled it in an affirmation. Big game for the rookie.
Big game for Lad McConkey.
Yes.
I don't know if you can
I
go
have
very
one more
far
loser.
if Lad McConkey's
Big
your number
game.
one receiver, but
Big game for the
Lad
rookie. I love
McConkey.
that. They lost 32 to 12. I mean,
Oh no, but he was a big
Yeah,
winner.
He had a big
I
game.
know.
He is a big
right?
winner.
He did
There-
his part.
There was a lot of like huge individual performances this weekend.
Yes.
Derrick Henry,
Amazing.
big winner.
He was there for the taking. Anyone could have had him.
Big winner.
Another
Yeah.
winner
Derrick
and a loss,
Henry.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, he's great. Is he a winner, though?
I mean, he punked his longtime rival Lattimore, scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Baker, though, big loser.
Yeah.
Big loser.
Yeah, big fumble.
The fumbles.
Yeah.
That fumble
and then
is
the
costly.
The weird mistimed snap, so nobody moves, so they don't get the first down on 3rd and inches, which leads to a field goal, and then they lose.
Can I give you a winner you're not expecting?
Of course. I love that. Wow. Hold on a second. A winner that we're not expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Justin Tucker.
Okay.
4 for 4 on extra points. Didn't have a field goal attempt. 4 for 4 on extra points. There's an early calls of his demise saying should they cut him?
Yes.
And I don't want
He's
to.
back.
I don't want to be that person.
And now he's hitting all
But
the extra
I
points.
told you, we're gonna have a situation where he wins them a big one. Now I was alluding to maybe the Super Bowl, so we still have a ways to go on that one. But when it's that time of the year, Justin Tucker's gonna be ready.
There was some
and ready he was.
shaky kicker performances yesterday.
There were
There was Tucker, who we're not sure about, even though he made all 4. Jake Elliott
not sure about.
for the Eagles.
Zane Gonzalez.
Zane Gonzalez, the big one.
Yeah.
Doinked it in for the win, but little worrisome.
Yeah, big moment for him.
Yeah.
Big moment for him. I was rooting for, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you,
Right.
I was kind of rooting for that one to go out, so that I could get another couple fantasy points, because
Yeah.
last week in our fantasy league presented by Smirnoff, the world's number one vodka, please drink responsibly, I ended up finishing like 40th place, so I was just outside of the money.
Mm-hmm.
If I got one more Terry McLaurin touchdown, because I had Jaden, that would have been 2 touchdowns, and I probably would have finished in the money. It's hard to do the daily fantasy at this time of year because there's so few teams to choose from that so many people have the same teams.
Right.
You know, like there's not a lot of variety in terms of who you can get. So this is really where you separate the mice from the men. Is that a thing?
One last winner.
Is it?
Yeah.
One
Do you
last winner.
separate mice from men?
Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah. I mean, some are big, some
Of
are
course you do.
small. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Terry McLaurin, very happy for him.
Are you?
Yeah,
That's
the,
nice of you.
The amount of dog quarterbacks he had to deal with in Washington until now, he finally gets to I'm on a team that wins. and
Yeah,
this
he's
is how
got
good
a-
I
I'm on
am.
a good team. I feel good for all the Commanders.
Bulk up a little bit, yeah.
And their fan base, actually. Speaking of fan bases, the
Yeah.
Eagles fan base, big losers.
Oh.
I mean, a month ago, all of you wanted to fire Nick Sirianni, and I'm not going to allow you to celebrate Nick Sirianni now.
You're not?
No.
He's
Oh.
right, though. He's right.
Seriously, they're a
What
bunch
do-
of phonies.
Well, I mean, they're
No, Billy,
Philly fans. Come on.
What do you...
What do you expect? Don't
He's
get mad at
taken
me,
them to
Philly
the
fans.
playoffs 3 consecutive years when they wanted him fired.
Yeah.
Now it's 4 consecutive years. And now I'm not certain the Eagles aren't the best team in the NFC. And that defense played great over the weekend. They get the winner of Minnesota and the Rams coming to Philadelphia next week. I have them in the NFC Championship game. I mean, they'll take on the Lions or the Commanders, and watch out for the Commanders in that game. That's the quarterback you don't want to
You are
see.
not saying
They beat him
that.
once
You
already.
don't believe that
Beat him
either.
once already.
Washington beat them.
You don't believe that.
Billy, they beat them.
You don't believe that.
And by
game's
the
gonna
way,
be close.
Jaden Daniels, was there any doubt, and this is saying something, when you consider the fact that we're talking about a rookie, when they got the ball back with just over 4 minutes to go, did you have any doubt that Tampa Bay was going to get the ball? Like, did you know right then and there the game was over? Because I did. Like, he was going to take that thing right down to the end, and Washington was going to win it. Why? Because he's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, for fantasy purposes, I was hoping a quick score, a quick long touchdown
Yeah.
from Terry McLaurin. I really was hoping for it because then I had some bucks that I could get some points. I was hoping for some garbage time miracles, to be perfectly honest with you.
I didn't think it was over, but I'm like, Baker's going to have to at least get a field goal with a minute left or something to win the game.
Can I?
He's so poised, Jaden Daniels.
He really
It's
him bleeding. Oh,
Who?
Jaden.
Oh, Jaden.
The
Jaden.
cut on his face, the blood dripping down his face, and then once you see
He
like
needs some of that because he's so
once
nice.
you see like the little stitches or like the glue or whatever they do close, like that's a little cut. That's not a huge deal.
That's nothing.
The
But when
blood,
the blood
though,
is running,
All
yeah.
over the place.
bleeding from your face makes you look so cool.
Right. Regardless of who you are.
If you're like in battle, I mean, remember how cool Tebow looked, and he wasn't even bleeding. He just like slid in red paint that was in a wet field in the end zone. It was like, wow, this guy looks
Yeah.
like a badass, and it was just paint. Jada with the blood down his face, like, oh my god.
Paint could do a lot for a guy.
Yeah.
On his little paper cut on
I
his
mean,
cheek.
seriously, look at Mel Gibson in Braveheart without the paint, and then watch the scene with the paint.
This is a great point.
It's
This is
a
a
totally
great
different
point.
guy.
Kiss.
You're right.
Yeah.
Imagine Kiss if they all performed without paint on. You'd be like, these guys are kind of,
These guys are just weird.
yeah. These outfits.
Why is there so much leather?
Yeah.
Who would you want to start a painting company with, Gojo or Golic?
Wow. For a year,
Yeah.
I would hire a company.
we're opening our own Sherwin-Williams.
But if you saw a painting company named the Golics, you're like, wow.
The Golic Painting
Yeah,
Company.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Mike,
Seems reliable.
Hall of Fame
Senior,
painting.
Senior honestly looks like someone that would be behind the counter of a painting company.
I agree.
Like he goes into the computer and goes beep, boop, boop,
Small-
and it shoots
small
like the
glasses
right
on.
exact things.
Small glasses.
He gets
on.
excited when he sees a different kind of color.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah.
This is going to look great.
Gojo's the guy that carries like the heavy stuff to the car for you, like ladders and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Does he go on the jobs, though?
He also
No,
he
no,
like
office guy.
sometimes he's missing.
You feel
and you're like,
inclined
where
to
is
tip
he?
Gojo.
Where did
His forearms are full of sunspots. 'cause
where
he's been
did
out too
Junior
long.
go? You don't know. Sometimes he's missing. He just emerges from a van.
His excuse is he was always loading up another van.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Golic comes from behind the counter, 5-gallon bucket of paint thinner. You know, Dad, come on, stop lifting that. You're old. He's like, I got this, son. You know.
The Golics.
The Golics.
Wild card weekend. Billy,
Yeah.
Mikey A said something to me during the break.
What did he say?
I can't believe he said it.
What?
I was shocked when he said it.
Are you gonna tell me what it is?
He said, Stu, I'm starting to get scared. I mean, wow. I have no idea what he's scared about.
You do, though.
I do.
You do, though.
I have an idea of where this is
Because you're
going.
scared, too.
All I did was look back at you and nodded. What are you scared of? What's going on?
I'm scared who's going to be the Jets coach, man.
Oh, really?
I'm scared.
Oh, you're starting to get scared? Really? Because
Why?
Vrabel's
scared, man.
Vrabel won the weekend, even though the Patriots won the weekend, even though they didn't do anything. I mean,
There's
Brady.
starting to be rumors that Aaron Glenn's going to go to the Saints.
Right, Billy. Listen, before we get to
man.
why you're so scared, Billy has stages of Vrabel that we'll get to in just a second.
Stages of
Oh, I
Vrabel.
can't wait for
I
that.
do like that.
I can't wait for stages of Vrabel.
But Mikey, what is your concern that the Jets are going to hire a bad head coach, the wrong head coach? Why are you scared now as opposed to before the weekend?
Because this is my Super Bowl. When like off season, like this is the coach that's going to turn it around. How many times I've said that? This is the player we're going to draft in the first round that's going to turn it around. And don't take my Super Bowl and give me a bad one to start. Like I don't want a bad head coach and a bad GM. And I'm worried they're leaning towards one that Miami Dolphin fans know well.
Oh, really? Flores?
That'd be the one.
Do you not want Flores?
You need a culture change, and a culture change doesn't come with the guy who told Tua you don't belong in the league.
Maybe he learned from that, though. That's all I'm saying.
Aaron Rodgers.
You don't learn. You don't change who you are. That's
Right.
who he is.
He's done. Aaron Rodgers, right?
I'm not sure.
Really?
No, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not sure. I'm
You
really
think he's
not.
done with the Jets?
I don't know if he's done. I don't know if he's done with the Jets. I'm not certain he's done playing football.
I
That's all.
saw videos of the locker room after the Jets win over the Dolphins, and he looked quite emotional. Like he looked like he had been crying. Like
he played his last football game.
yeah, like he knew.
Right, but that happens, and then, a
You get
couple
that
of
itch.
weeks go by, a couple of months go by, and then all of a sudden your phone rings, and you're like, whose number is this? And you let it go to voicemail because you don't want to answer the voicemails from Mike Tomlin, and suddenly, the Steelers have interest in you, I'm serious. I mean,
Loser in winners and losers.
oh, really? Back to that.
Yeah, we don't need the music. No, don't worry. Russell Wilson.
Big loser.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
For a guy who Stugotz for years has been saying was playing his way out of the Hall of Fame,
Starting to play himself back in, and then
no, he played his way out of having a contract and a starting job. Like we were talking 3-4 weeks ago, about the Steelers and like, yeah, you got to sign Russ. Like you got to give him like $30 million. Like don't give him like a 50, but like, you got to give him like $35 million a year. Like they found their quarterback. They're going to make it work.
Yeah.
And the last like 2-3 weeks, you're like, oh boy,
no,
they do not have a quarterback.
That's not their quarterback.
They need to figure out this quarterback situation again.
Yeah. They do. You're right. There's all kinds of speculation that Tomlin should, and the Steelers should mutually part ways and all that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Tomlin has a no-trade clause. He could decide if they want to get rid of him. He could decide if he wants to go to that team or not. Ooh. I will tell you this. If the Steelers get rid of Mike Tomlin and the Jets don't hire him within the hour, I'm going to stop being a Jets fan. How about that?
If you're Mike Tomlin,
joking.
I laugh when I see Woody Johnson's number.
I was about to say.
No, thank you, click. No,
what, I just called them overrated? I mean,
yeah.
Listen, for the Steelers, making the playoffs every season and losing is unacceptable. For the Jets, making the playoffs every year and losing, that's our Super Bowl.
The problem with the problem with the Steelers is like they very clearly have hit a wall, right? Like
every year.
No, but it's like, look, we never have a losing season. We're always, whatever. But like, you also just you can't get over that hump in the playoffs,
right?
And it's fine until you're kind of stuck. Like that's where growing up, like the Dolphins were for the longest time. And it's like, oh, the Dolphins have the highest win percentage of any team ever. And it's like, yeah, but like they can't win a playoff game and they can't go deep in the playoffs. It's fun, like fine, we never lose, but we also never actually win,
right?
And that's kind of where the Steelers seem to be.
There are a bunch of retread coaches on that staff, though. There's never some up and coming offensive or defensive coordinator that throws a wrinkle in, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is what got him over the hump. They just hire
They hire Arthur Smith,
coaches.
Right? Smith.
They don't develop any coaches. They just hire them.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. By the way, the Ravens play the Bills this weekend. What a game. I mean, it is such an amazing game. Lamar Jackson, who is awesome, against Josh Allen, and they're playing for the right to go to Kansas City. I mean, it feels like there should be more for winning that game than having to travel to Arrowhead to take on Patrick Mahomes. I'm excited for that game, man.
What if Mike Tomlin goes to the Bears?
I mean, that seems like a good spot for him.
Yeah, when was the last time he developed a young quarterback? I don't think he ever has. He inherited Ben Roethlisberger. He's had a bunch
He inherited Roethlisberger. They kept him a year too long.
Yeah, they had Russell Wilson now. Kenny Pickett he didn't do anything with.
No.
Well, they traded Kenny Pickett.
But he drafted him, right?
I could see him going to the Bears. Mike Tomlin, there are certain places where Mike Tomlin works. Chicago is one of them.
I think
you throw Mike Tomlin down here in Miami, don't work.
I also think that Tomlin goes to like city commission meetings and stuff like that, like to oppose them putting a roof on the stadium. He's like, we were going to play in Soldier Field. We're not moving.
Yep.
I like the history of this field.
If it doesn't snow, generate snow.
Exactly right. Yeah. Save the money for the roof and build snow machines.
Yep.
I want snow in September.
Exactly right. You want to plow snow out of your driveway? Bring it to Soldier Field and put it on my field. That's what I want. Bring snow from home. You know how the Bills have like their fans like come in and plow the snow. It's like no, bring your snow from home.
Right.
Throw it all over your seats. Throw
More
it all over
snow.
the field. Exactly right. That's what he wants.
Why are you digging that snow out? Mm-hmm. Throw some on. I like Tomlin in Chicago.
I kind of do too. Marcus Freeman, he can't leave.
He's
Notre
not
Dame,
leaving.
right? Like that would
He's
be
not. He's
that
not.
would be wild.
It'd be stupid to leave Notre Dame.
I'm kind of with you. He's a made man there right now.
Listen, Notre Dame, if you can win at Notre Dame, you'll have a job for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and college is closer to the NFL than it's ever been, like in terms of salary, in terms of everything, exposure, all of it. Why would you want to go to Chicago when you're the head coach of Notre Dame, the biggest brand in college football? Why would you want to go to the Bears and get fired in 3 seasons?
Should we, and no is a perfectly acceptable answer on this, should we be rethinking our reaction to that loss to Northern Illinois?
What do you mean?
No.
I'm with you. No apologies.
We made a
Terrible
really
loss.
big deal.
It's a terrible loss.
They should have stayed out of the playoffs
That's
just
true.
because that loss.
I know.
That was terrible.
Yes.
I'm not gonna backtrack on that whatsoever. Bad loss, hot seat.
I want Notre Dame to win the national championship, and we have Golic on the next day with the Northern Illinois coach.
If Notre Dame wins the national
Claiming
championship,
Yes, claiming national championship. Yes.
if Notre Dame wins the national championship, I don't know that we're gonna get Golic. I think he's gonna be on a tour.
Oh God. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna want to talk to him.
Not the new guys, huh? Not Sam Hartman.
By the way, I don't know if you guys are privy to this. Mikey, I don't think you are. I don't know if you are, Fuentes. Last week, we spoke to Lucy, and we were previewing the games, Notre Dame games specifically, and we're talking about whether or not we're whispering here amongst friends, whether or not we were rooting for Notre Dame to win or lose. And then we all kind of said we were hoping that they would lose, unless Jessica listens, in which case we were rooting for her and her team to do well, because of course we're friends with her, we want her to be happy, all of that stuff, right?
Of course, yes.
Turns out she was listening, and she reached out to us and just said, I'm paraphrasing here, so I don't want to, something along the lines of, I do listen, a-holes, or something like that. It may not have been exactly that, but that was definitely the vibe.
It was.
Which was, she knows we were lying about
Hey,
wanting her
a-holes,
to
I
win.
listened,
Yeah.
or something like that, to which I responded, why?
Yeah. Well, so who do we want to win? Do we want Ohio State, or do we want the Golics and Jess to be happy?
Oh, wow.
Because I
That's an
still
easy
maintain,
answer for me.
I maintain bad business for the Golics if Notre Dame wins.
Bad business, right, because the younger generation Notre Dame guys, Kyle Rudolphs of the world, they become the Golics.
But not only that, the Golics are so professional, they'll be willing to go on the media tour on why we lost. Whereas everybody else is like, no, it's too emotional. I can't talk about the loss. The Golics will get more if they lose because the Golics are professional.
As long as it pays. I mean,
Well, of course.
Yeah,
yes,
duh.
right,
Come on.
right.
Diabetes.
This law's brought to you by.
Seniors going to be going around the Super Bowl like promoting stress balls, like antidepressants.
It's a good question. Who do we want to lose more? I'm rooting for Ryan Day because it's absurd to think that if he wins a national championship, he's still in a bad season.
It'd be funny if he wins the national championship and gets fired.
It'd be great.
Just can't be
It'd
Michigan.
be great.
Take the Bears job.
Ann Arbor, they're going to throw a parade in Michigan if they win the national championship. I'm rooting for Notre Dame. Man, I'm so torn because I love the Golics, but it takes away the jokes that we, play like a champion today. They're actual champions.
Well, they're not yet.
I know, but I don't think they're going to win the game.
They're going to have to take down the play like a college football semifinalist today sign if they win. And then they can put their champion sign
play
back
mediocre today. Right?
Didn't we say that to Marcus Freeman?
What?
I think we said that.
What's this we stuff?
Sign.
I didn't say that.
Who said it?
Stu didn't say that.
Someone
I
said
think
it.
you
Billy
said it.
said that.
Yeah.
He's never coming on our show again if he wins a national championship. Our time with Marcus Freeman is over.
Well, no, I reached out to Notre Dame to get Marcus Freeman. They said if we win the national championship, he'll do something with
They
us.
said ask the Bears.
I should put a request in today.
Yeah, send
to
the Bears.
For the Bears.
Listen, we know you and Marcus have this thing all tied up, so if he wins,
Right.
can you get him on our show?
I'll send it to Notre Dame and copy the Bears.
Yeah,
How's
I
that?
like that. That's going to piss no one off. That's a great idea. Just BCC them. Yeah.
Oh, God. Freeman, stay put. Stay put. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, I have big board bets if you want next segment.
Yeah. We never got to if the season ended today.
We can do that next segment too.
All right. We'll weave in and out of your big board bets, and if the season ended today, I'm starting to get nervous. You're starting to get nervous.
What are you getting nervous about?
It's
Scared.
because
Scared.
we never make
Not
the right,
nervous. I'm always nervous. Scared.
We never make the right decision. We never make the right decision.
If you could get one Jets retread, so like a Jets coach from your past, who would it be?
Probably Rex.
Really?
Yeah. I'm
Weeb
scared.
Eubank.
Weeb, yeah, he won a Super Bowl. I'm scared too because we have quickly become the worst team in that division again.
I mean,
By the way, the answer is Bill Parcells, right? If you could get one retread, give me Bill Parcells.
No, I think the answer is Weeb.
but it's not a time machine. You get present day Bill Parcells.
I was about to say, how old is Bill Parcells
Yeah.
now? Like,
Don't care.
Yeah,
Really, you
sure.
don't care.
Yeah.
Wait, do I have to get present day Weeb? He's been dead for 30
Yeah,
years.
present
it's not the
day
best
we
decision.
you make
Yeah.
might be hard.
What's Mangini doing?
Bill's 83.
I would take Joe Walton.
Mangini always thinks he's going to get the call, right? Like he's
Constantly sitting by a phone.
he thinks that he's doing the Mike Vrabel move where he's just taking the year off and he's always going to get the call.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of just waiting.
He takes the dog for a walk and comes back and opens the door and go, "Hun, anybody call?
Yeah,
anybody call?"
I like that. Like his family's like we don't, Dad, we don't need a landline anymore. And he's like, I still need a voicemail, and he still has like the old classic tapes. And he's like, play it back.
Rotary
Keeps
phone.
checking
I didn't
to
hear
make
that.
sure
I
it's
didn't hear
working.
who was that. I didn't hear the number.
What are we doing to poor Eric Mangini?
I don't know.
That guy.
I don't know,
He was
but I like it.
He was the toast of New York at one time.
I hope he doesn't call us.
On The Sopranos.
He was on The Sopranos. Oh my God!
It'd be so funny to get a text from Eric Mangini. I don't have his number, but it'd be so funny to get a text from Eric Mangini tomorrow. He's like, I listen, bleep-holes.
All right, we have one game this evening. Billy is getting his big board bets prepared for you. It is the Vikings. It is the Rams. The winner will move on to take on Philadelphia next week. The Lions have the Commanders, so that's going to be interesting. Commanders, by the way, a year removed from getting rid of Daniel Snyder as owner, getting rid of their head coach and bringing in Snyder, saying no to Bill Belichick, by the way. And here they are, one of the final 8 teams in the NFL. I mean, they made the right decisions. They did. I can't believe it. Well, the main right decision they made was not getting rid of Snyder, was not getting rid of their head coach, was not saying no to Bill Belichick and hiring Dan Quinn. It was drafting Jaden Daniels.
Oh.
Because if all those other things were still in place, Jaden Daniels is so good, the Commanders would still be where they are today.
I thought it was the Eck move.
Right. Well, the Eckler. The Eckler
I
move.
miss him.
It was
He had a day.
Yeah, you did have a day.
I miss him.
I
He would
feel
have been
good.
my winner.
I feel good for
We were doing
Austin
winners and
Eckler.
losers,
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the video that someone put out?
And Eckler loved, I don't care what he says, he's such a gentleman, he would never say it. He loved that he won, he advanced, and the Chargers lost. What a weekend for Eckler.
I don't know if he's wired that way.
He is wired that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you see the?
Tom Telesco got fired.
I saw that.
Tommy T.
Well, he that one. I think there was some bad blood there, right? Because like when we spoke to him last year, he kind of was maybe
Yes.
he wanted to go play with Tom Telesco and he
Right.
wanted to play in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it seemed
he
like he
did.
never got that call.
Right. Well, luckily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when you can go get an Alexander Madison,
and
you
when
do it.
Deion Sanders might be your coach next year.
Right.
Deion's reaching out
He's
to the
play-
Raiders. His
he's-
people are reaching out to the Raiders saying he wants to be the coach here next year.
He's playing with Jaden Daniels. He's lucky he didn't get that call.
No, he is.
I mean, Mangini wanted that call, but
He's still waiting. That call.
Mangini
he's
wants any
waiting.
call.
Yeah.
any call. Just someone call me. Anybody. So it's interesting. You guys don't think Jaden Daniels has a chance? The Commanders have a chance against the Lions? A lot of pressure on the
I
Lions.
do.
No pressure on Jaden
I do.
Daniels.
I mean, I think they have a chance, but I don't think that their defense is good enough to stop the Lions. Lions scored like 50 points, like 4 times this year or something like that, or
Right.
something crazy.
Who do you think the Eagles would rather face? The Rams or the Vikings? I know it's a crazy question based on record. But you want Stafford walking in there over Sam Darnold?
The Rams are weird because I feel like they can beat anybody at any time.
I would
Yeah.
want the Vikings.
I'd rather have the Vikings. Yeah.
Same here.
Did you lose faith in Jordan Love this year at all?
I mean, 3 interceptions. Ham was hurt.
I felt like we were coming in and we were ready to like anoint him the MVP of the league and like the
He
next
got
big
paid
thing.
like he was
He
anointed.
he went to Dallas last year, blew him out on the road in the postseason. Close game, I think, against San Francisco the next round. So he had to get paid. They had to pay him, Mikey.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe he's not as good as we thought. I
They
mean,
paid him off 2 games, and
he's missing Christian Watson in that spot. It's why I ask those questions with Sims every year. Do you play your starters in that last regular season game? Watson got hurt. Love got his hand banged up. The Packers kind of had to play their guys, though. So I don't know. While you're down on
Who
Jordan
have you
Love.
lost more faith in, C.J. Stroud or Jordan Love? And I realize Stroud won.
I
but
know, that's so crazy.
He didn't play very well.
I also don't feel like Christian Watson's a needle mover for Jordan Love.
He's just a deep threat.
That's
though.
it. And like he's a guy that demands attention, but I don't think Jordan Love necessarily plays any better.
He also, by the way, converted that first down, and his receiver just, I don't know, forgot where he was on the field and didn't even try to get his feet down in bounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is LaFleur never on the hot seat?
Good looking.
Any seat he sits in?
Most good looking guy on the field at all times.
Really?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either.
What if
Well,
Marcus
unless, like-
Freeman's on the field?
Or Kings.
What if Marcus Freeman gets that Bears job?
Well,
Then
now
it's
it's a
twice a
different
year.
conversation.
Right. He's not. Tomlin's going to Chicago. I'm with Billy on this. That's the place to go.
I'd love that.
Oh, it'd be
I'd love
so
that.
good. I mean, Chicago, another place that would take just getting to the playoffs every year and losing.
Did you guys see? We haven't talked about it yet. Did you see what James Franklin said before the game to Marcus Freeman?
What?
I mean, so he I guess they spoke before the game or whatever, and he said like, "How old are you?" And then he said something like, "Oh, you have like a great hairline" or something like that. And there's speculation that that was used as added motivation for Marcus Freeman in Notre Dame, was condescending James Franklin. Kind of making it seem like, you know, welcome to the party. Which, by the way,
Right.
James Franklin is acting as the host of a party he's never been to is like the craziest thing.
Nuts.
Like, hey,
Yes.
welcome, youngster. Now you know what it's like. It's like, now I know what it's like,
Right.
dude. This is your first time here, also. What are you talking
We're
about?
different ages, but we're getting here at
This
the same
isn't.
time,
This
my
is
man.
not your house. What are you talking about?
James Franklin holding court as some cagey vet coach who has been there over and over again.
Yeah.
Is laugh out loud funny. I mean,
I saw this tweet and it made me laugh so hard. Is James Franklin the Vince Lombardi of Mike Tomlin? And it made me laugh so hard. It's so perfect. Is he the best at being Mike Tomlin? Yeah, kind of. Just right up,
Nope.
get there, and then you're done.
no, but James Franklin doesn't even get there. He doesn't get
now
there.
He does. Now he does.
By the way, I would like a rule,
Okay.
Billy, if I repeat this on the main show. Like,
I won't tell.
Just, yeah. Thank you.
Between us.
I think the fans, every year after the regular season, there should be a vote where the fans can eliminate a team that's limping into the playoffs because they know that team's not any good, and they can take a non-playoff team who is really, really hot and insert them in.
Is this
So
college?
you're trying to put
College
the
or pro?
Bengals in over the
The
Steelers,
Bengals
huh?
would have won that game.
That's what I'm saying. You put
Yeah.
the But who would you
Yeah,
put
they
them-
would have.
Yeah, the Bengals would have won that game.
So you put him in over the Broncos.
No.
Over what
No,
team?
you put him in over the Steelers.
I take the Steelers
Oh,
out. I put the
Steelers.
Bengals
Oh,
in. The
yeah, yeah, okay.
Steelers were limping into the playoffs.
You're right.
Broncos were hot going into the playoffs.
Or would you have taken out the Texans at that point?
I would have taken
We
out
all
the,
said
I would have taken out the
last week
Steelers.
We all said last
Yeah.
week we all said the Texans were the worst team in the
I
playoffs.
stand-
No,
by that.
You can only do it.
I agree.
No, division
I mean,
winners
at the
get in.
time,
You can only do it with a wild card
That's the
team,
thing.
guys.
You
That's
can't-
it.
Okay.
You can't take
all
out
right.
the Texans because the
See,
Texans
this-
won their
They
division.
won their
This is how we
division.
do
I
this.
take the
This is
Steelers
how we
out.
do this.
I put the Bengals in, and the Bengals are going to Buffalo this weekend.
Let's get some big board bets.
I mean,
in.
and who wouldn't want that?
Yes, please.
As opposed to what we got, which is something even better.
All right, Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by. We don't have a sponsor right now.
Right.
These are bets that if I was in the DraftKings state, I would be tempted to make. However, I am not.
All right, Ram.
I've hit a bit of a skid since week 15. I am 3-11 since week 15. So I need a slump buster, which is Kyron Williams anytime touchdown.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I just need a win.
All right.
I need a win there.
So you went to your go-to guy,
Kyron Williams.
Right.
He's had touchdowns in 5
Right.
of the last 6 weeks. I feel like he is our guy.
Okay, so that is the first of Billy's big board bets. He is beating himself up because he is down over the last, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, big deal. You had a great season. All right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to give you the numbers.
Listen,
I'm
it's the
race
sec-
against the clock
Billy,
here.
Billy,
Yeah.
it's a new season.
I'm 45-28 on the season. All right, my next one, Jordan
Second
Addison
season.
over 4.5 reception.
All right, Jordan Addison over 4.5. I'm guessing the theory there is a lot of the guys will be going after Justin Jefferson. They don't want Jefferson to beat him. Addison will get one-on-one coverage. Billy is taking Jordan Addison over 4.5 completions on his big board.
He
bet.
had 1 reception last week, but he had 6 targets. Last week was a weird one.
Yes.
For the Vikings. No one had a lot of things, but 5 of the last 6 weeks he has had the over on 4.5 receptions.
Okay, so one more bet here for Billy.
He was hot at the end of the season.
Jordan Addison was, yeah.
Except for that last game. But.
Except for that last game.
All right, here's the fun one that we're going to do. Jalen Naylor, over 17.5 receiving yards. He had 53 last week against Detroit. He had 81 2 weeks ago against the Packers. This is the guy that we're all going to be looking at, and as soon as he gets that over in receiving yards for the game, we're going to say, yes, we were in this together.
Is that what we're going to say?
Yeah, that's what we're all going to say collectively.
I'm going to say.
Tweet that at me. Yes, we're in this together.
The oddest part of the show, God bless football, everyone, was Mike saying he felt good for Terry McLaurin.